The great hall of the Galactic Council was filled with sound, voices, debates, and arguments. Thousands of leaders from across the galaxy had gathered again. Some had blue skin. Some floated instead of walking. Some glowed like stars. But all of them shared one purpose: power and order. In the center of the hall sat a giant round table with 1,000 chairs. Each chair belonged to a planet that was part of the council. But one chair had always remained empty. For over 300 years, it was made of a dark, strange metal no one else could recreate. It was colder than space itself, and on its back was a symbol that many did not recognize anymore: a human hand, reaching toward the stars. This was Earth's chair. The galaxy had forgotten Earth. Some believed it was a myth. Others laughed at the idea that humans could matter. Many thought Earth had died or never reached the stars. But the chair still stood, untouched, unclaimed, and it was locked by Earth's own command. Varnak, a young alien diplomat from the Velari species, stood near the empty chair. His eyes glowed green as he studied it closely. His people were known for their curiosity. But even among them, Varnak was different. He didn't just want to understand the galaxy. He wanted to know the truth. Why is this chair still here? Varnak asked an older diplomat beside him. The old alien shook his head and whispered, "Because it must be." "That's not an answer," Varnak replied. "No," the old one said, "but it's the only one we have." The council meeting began. A loud voice echoed through the hall. It belonged to High Speaker Telvaz, a tall being with silver skin and no mouth. He spoke with pure thought. "We bring again the question of the Earth chair. 3 centuries have passed. They have not responded to our calls. They have ignored our invitations. It is time to remove them." Gasps filled the room. "Remove Earth. End the empty chair." Varnak stood up. "With respect, Speaker, why has no one gone to Earth in 300 years? Why have we not sent a proper team to ask? Why?" The hall went silent. Telvaz turned slowly. "Because Earth is not a mystery to be solved. Earth is a warning." Whispers started among the council. Some laughed. Others looked nervous. A few looked afraid. Another elder, Councillor Dreven of the Razic Empire, stood. He had seen many wars, many planets fall. He spoke with a voice like cracked stone. "I was a child when Earth last spoke. One message. 4 words, sent to the council." Varnak leaned forward. "What were the words?" Driven looked at him. "Do not come back." Silence. No one in the room laughed now. Varnak felt a cold chill in his spine. What happened before that message? Driven answered slowly. "Long ago, the council tried to welcome Earth. They offered peace, but they also gave orders, demands, control. They thought Earth was weak, primitive. But Earth sent something instead of a reply. A ship. Just one. It entered council space. No weapons were seen. No threats were made. But it disabled our fleet without firing a shot. Every ship, every station, every system, shut down, silently." Varnak's eyes widened. "That's impossible." Then Earth sent the message. Just 4 words. Then silence. For 300 years. Varnak stared at the empty chair again. What kind of species could do that? Why would they leave the council? Why would they stay silent for centuries? He made a decision, a dangerous one. He would go to Earth. Later that night, Varnak sat alone in his chamber, watching old records, files almost deleted from the archives. He found strange human signals from the past, languages, music, images of humans looking at the stars with hope and pride. They didn't look like monsters. They looked curious, like him. But then the last video played. A human woman, eyes dark like space, voice calm but powerful. "If the council sends another ship," she said, "know this. We are not gone. We are only waiting. The screen went black. Varnak stood up slowly. They are not dead, he whispered. They're hiding, and they're watching. He sent a secret message to his ship. Prepare a course for Sol system. I'm going to Earth. And far away, across light years of space, in the shadows of Earth's moon, a black satellite opened its eye. It had just received a signal. Varnak was coming. Earth knew. And Earth was ready. Varnak stood on the deck of his ship, the Pathseeker, watching the stars ahead. His heart was calm, but his thoughts raced. He had done something no one had dared in 300 years. He had set a course for Earth. Behind him, the crew worked quietly. They were not soldiers. They were explorers, scientists, and diplomats. They believed in knowledge, not war. But none of them smiled. Not now. Not on this mission. The galaxy called Earth a dead world, a ghost, a myth. But Varnak believed it was more. He believed it was hiding something. And soon, they would find out what. The journey was smooth at first. The Sol system was far, but not unreachable. They passed stars and ancient stations, relics of old wars. As they approached the edge of Earth's system, the Pathseeker slowed down. And then, the silence began. No signals, no beacons, no transmissions. "Sir," said Tara, the communication officer, her voice shaking, "I can't reach anything in the system, not even auto-satellites. It's like nothing is talking." "Try again," Varnak said. She did, again and again. Still nothing. The Pathseeker moved slowly into orbit near Earth's moon. And then it happened. Everything shut down. Lights flickered. Engines froze. The ship stopped moving. Power drop. "Full systems failure," shouted the engineer. "Backup cores won't start." Varnak floated in the quiet, his face calm but focused. "Did we get hit?" "No weapons, no damage," said the engineer. "It's like the ship was turned off by something we can't see." The screen in front of them showed the Earth. Blue, calm, beautiful, and completely still. Without warning, the backup lights flickered back on. Only one system worked now, manual descent. "Something is pulling us in," said Tara. "We can't stop it. Earth's gravity is too strong now." Varnak made his choice. "Let it pull. We'll land." The ship glided toward the surface, guided only by the old controls and slow engines. No enemy fire. No welcome message. Just silence. They flew over what used to be great cities. New York, London, Beijing. But they weren't ruins. They were clean, empty, like someone had taken away the people that left the buildings. "Where is everyone?" whispered a crew member. "No life signs, no movement," said the scanner tech. "Just power. A lot of power. Coming from deep underground." Varnak narrowed his eyes. "We're not the first to come here." They landed in what used to be London. The sky was gray, but the air was fresh. Not a single tree was out of place. Not a single building damage. It felt unnatural. Too perfect. They stepped out in silence. The city was quiet, like time had stopped. But strange black towers stood across the skyline. Tall, thin, with no doors or windows. They hummed softly, almost like they were alive. One of the towers turned slightly, facing the crew. Did it just move?" a crew member asked, stepping back. "It's watching us," said Tara. They walked toward a large structure, a library, according to old Earth records. Inside, dustless and untouched, they found something strange. A glowing platform in the center. As Varnak stepped onto it, the room came alive. Holograms appeared. Screens turned on. And then, a human appeared in front of them. Not real. A recording. It was a man in a black uniform, with silver lines running down his arms. His eyes were sharp. His voice was calm. "Welcome, outsider. If you are here, it means Earth has allowed you to enter. Do not take this as kindness." The crew froze. "You want answers? Good. We left the council for a reason. You will soon understand why." The hologram flickered, showing scenes of war, lies, and something else. Giant ships disappearing into deep space. Earth did not fall. Earth did not hide. Earth watched. The message ended. The room returned to silence. Varnak stood there, shocked. This wasn't a dead world. This was a guarded world. A prepared world. Outside, one of the black towers sent out a signal. A small pulse. It reached deep into space, to a dark place where no light escaped. And there, something moved. Far away in the secret halls of the Galactic Council, a red light turned on for the first time in centuries. A warning light. Sol's system breach detected. The council froze. "They're awake," someone whispered. And in the shadows of the council, an old being said quietly, "The humans are coming back." The silence inside the old Earth library felt heavier now. Varnak stared at the spot where the hologram had appeared. His mind raced. Earth was not dead. Earth had not been forgotten. It had been watching. "Sir," Tira said, her voice quiet, "should we leave?" "No," Varnak replied. "We've already seen too much, and Earth wants us to see more." He turned to the glowing floor. "There's more under this place. I can feel it." They searched the library until they found a hidden elevator, locked behind an old wall. It didn't need a key, just a handprint. Varnak hesitated, then placed his hand on the panel. The wall opened silently, and the elevator door slid open. They stepped inside. No one spoke as the elevator moved down, deeper than any of them expected. Deeper than any Earth building should go. After a long descent, the door opened into a massive underground chamber. It was beautiful and strange. Tall silver walls, glowing softly. Floating screens showed images of humans from thousands of years ago. Families, soldiers, scientists, children, all stored perfectly. "What is this place?" whispered a crew member. Tira checked her scanner. "It's a memory vault. But the technology is too advanced. I've never seen anything like it." Varnak walked slowly through the hall. He felt like something was watching them. Not dangerous, but curious. A screen lit up near him, showing an image of the Galactic Council. And beside it, a human in chains. "Play the memory," Varnak said. A voice responded, not a recording, but something alive. "Access granted. Memory unlocked." The screen showed a meeting of the Galactic Council hundreds of years ago. The leaders sat on their thrones, proud and cold. A human was brought forward. He was calm but looked tired. The council leader spoke. "You are dangerous. You question too much. You grow too fast. You threaten balance." The human replied, "We only want truth. We want freedom. If that scares you, then maybe you are the danger." The council shouted. The screen went dark. Another image appeared. Earth's seat at the council chamber, empty. Varnak stared. That's why Earth never joined. They refused to bow. More screens lit up now. 1,000 stories flashed before their eyes. Wars the galaxy never knew about. Secrets the council had buried. And one name appeared again and again. Project Arcfire. Tyra tapped the name. "It's locked. Encrypted. We need permission." Suddenly, the room spoke again. "Permission granted. Observer Varnak of House Delra." Varnak's eyes widened. "How does it know my name?" The lights dimmed. One large screen appeared, showing a fleet of massive ships leaving Earth. Bigger than anything in the galaxy. When Earth saw the truth of the council, it made a choice, the voice said. It created the Arcfire fleet, not to fight, but to protect, to disappear, to wait. The crew stood still. Tyra looked pale. They hid their fleet for hundreds of years. Varnak nodded slowly. They didn't vanish. They prepared. Suddenly, an alarm echoed through the vault. Red lights blinked. Tira checked her scanner. Incoming transmission. It's not from Earth. It's from orbit. Varnak turned to her. Play it. The voice that came through was cold, mechanical. Unregistered vessel. You are not authorized to access Earth's core systems. Leave immediately. Identify yourself, Varnak said. No answer. Instead, the screen showed a new image, a ship. Huge, black, like a blade in space. It hovered above Earth, silent and deadly. And it wasn't human. Varnak clenched his fists. Someone else followed us. Tara checked the signal. It's not from the Council. It's something older, something hiding in the shadows. Suddenly, the vault's voice returned. Intruder detected. Activating Protocol 9. The walls shifted. A door opened at the far end, glowing with light. Above it, one word appeared. Truth. Varnak looked at his crew. We didn't come this far to turn back. He stepped through the door. Behind it was a stairway, and at the end, a massive circular room. In the center, a glowing orb floated above the ground. The vault spoke one last time. This is Earth's memory. The true record. Everything the galaxy was never meant to know. Varnak stepped closer, and the orb reacted to him. It showed a final message. Earth did not run. Earth did not lose. Earth chose silence. Until now. And far above, in the shadows of the black ship, something prepared to strike. But it was already too late. Earth had awakened. The vault of memories fell silent. Varnak stood before the glowing orb, still processing what he had seen. Earth had not been destroyed or forgotten. It had vanished by choice, hiding its strength, building its truth in secret. But now, someone else had come. And they were not friendly. Tyra's voice broke the silence. Sir, the black ship is still there. It's not moving, but I think it's scanning us. Varnak turned away from the orb. They followed us here, but why? A crew member spoke up nervously. Maybe they knew we'd find the vault. Maybe they always watched Earth, just like Earth watched the galaxy. Tara checked her scanner again, frowning. This ship doesn't belong to the Council. It's older. The signature is ancient. The vault's voice suddenly returned. Enemy confirmed. Designation. The Watchers. Everyone froze. The Watchers? Tira asked. Who are they? The vault lit up, revealing a new image. Dark ships moving through space, slowly, silently, like ghosts. The voice explained. Before the Council, before peace, the Watchers were the first to rise. They ruled from the shadows, silent, unseen. They feared change. They feared truth. Images appeared of Earth's history. Every time humanity made a leap, discovered a star engine, built massive fleets, or questioned Council rules, the Watchers had interfered. Quietly, through sabotage, through lies, through whispers in the ears of leaders. They are the hand behind the throne, said the vault. Even the Council does not fully understand them. Varnak felt a chill. They never wanted Earth to join the Council, he said, not because Earth was weak, but because Earth asked too many questions. Tara nodded. Earth wanted freedom, truth, and the Watchers fear both. A tremor shook the floor. Alarms echoed again. Outer defenses breached, said the vault. They are coming. The crew drew their weapons, though they knew it wouldn't help much. The elevator behind them had shut down. The only way now was forward. Varnak pointed to the hallway ahead. We moved deeper. Earth left something down here, something for moments like this. They ran through steel corridors as the vault sealed the path behind them. More memories played on the walls, stories of betrayal, of wars that never made it to the history books, of human captains who vanished in deep space, only to return with knowledge even the Council feared. And at the end of the corridor was a chamber sealed in crystal. The vault spoke. "This is Arcfire Code Room, Earth's final defense protocol. To open, a non-human must choose truth over power." Varnak stepped forward. A light scanned him. Species: Relvan. Status: Observer. Council rank: High. "Do you choose to reveal Earth's secrets to the galaxy, knowing the danger it brings?" Varnak took a breath. Yes. The door opened. Inside was a control station and another glowing orb, but this one pulsed like a heart. Terra gasped. "Is that a ship's core?" "No," Varnak whispered. "It's something more." Outside, the black ship moved at last. Slowly, it descended into Earth's skies, engines dark, like a shadow falling. And then it opened. Figures stepped out, tall, armored, faceless. They moved without sound, weapons glowing cold blue. The Watchers had arrived. Inside the chamber, the vault reacted. Protocol Arcfire initiated. Last Guardian online. The orb lit the room. From deep underground, something ancient stirred. In orbit above, satellites woke from sleep. Hidden systems powered up. Long-dead beacons blinked for the first time in centuries. Earth wasn't just watching anymore. It was responding. Suddenly, the chamber floor shifted. A new screen rose from the ground. It showed a massive structure deep below them, a buried supercarrier, larger than any ship in the known galaxy. Arcfire command ship, Saul's Wrath. Terra gasped. "That thing is real. It's under us." Varnak nodded slowly. "It's Earth's final warning. They never wanted war, but they were ready for one." Outside, the Watchers moved toward the vault. But as they came closer, the ground began to shake. The air turned electric. The vault's voice echoed once more. "To those who hunted truth, to those who silenced voices, you are no longer welcome." A bright light shot into the sky. From the ground beneath the Earth's crust, something massive began to rise. A ship? No, a fortress, covered in ancient human markings, built with technology even the Council could not match. The Saul's Wrath had awakened. And for the first time in 1,000 years, the Watchers took a step back. Varnak looked up at the shaking ceiling. "This is just the beginning," he said. Terra nodded. "Earth is rising. And the galaxy won't be the same." The ground beneath them trembled. Varnak's heart raced. The vault had spoken the truth. Earth's secret had been hidden for a reason, because no one was supposed to know just how powerful humanity truly was. And now, the galaxy was about to learn that truth. The Saul's Wrath, the ancient human supercarrier, rose slowly from the depths of Earth's crust. The chamber shook as the massive ship, built for war, began to power up. Its engines hummed, releasing bursts of light as if it were waking from a long sleep. This ship is massive," Terra whispered, staring at the hologram of the supercarrier's rising form. Varnak stood motionless, his mind spinning. No one knew about this, not even the Council. The vault's voice echoed once more, calm and cold. "Saul's Wrath, humanity's final guardian, awakened for the defense of truth, activated." As the ship rose from the Earth, the sky above began to crackle with energy. Satellite arrays and defense systems across the planet powered up. Long-dormant weapons came online. Earth was no longer defenseless. The Watchers, still in orbit, hadn't yet realized what was happening. But soon they would. Outside, the black ships of the Watchers continued to hover above the planet. The Watchers themselves stood, observing Earth's ancient defenses come to life. And then, for the first time, they spoke. "The human relic awakens. We have waited for this moment. You cannot hide behind this ship, Earth." But the voice was not heard by the humans. Instead, it was met with a cold silence. The Saul's Wrath was not just a ship. It was a weapon, a message, a declaration. Inside the vault, Varnak and his crew stood frozen as the ground shook beneath their feet. "We need to move," Varnak said urgently. We need to get to that ship. Earth's defense is alive, and the Watchers will stop at nothing to destroy it. Tara nodded, grabbing her equipment. But how do we stop them? Varnak looked at the glowing orb, which had displayed the supercarrier's rise. We don't. We let Earth handle it. But we need to help guide its response. The crew raced through the underground corridors toward the surface. The air felt charged, as if something big was about to happen. The walls trembled as the Sol's wrath continued to ascend from the deep. The vault's alarms blared, but the doors to the outside were now wide open. When they emerged from the vault, they were met with an unexpected sight. Above them, the sky had split open as Sol's wrath began to hover over the city. Its massive form blocked out the sun, casting a dark shadow over the landscape. Tyra's eyes widened. That thing could wipe out entire fleets. But it's not moving. Varnak didn't respond. His eyes were focused on something else, a ship descending from the shadows of space, one of the Watchers' black ships. It had begun its descent. The Watchers didn't wait long. They had seen Earth's ancient defense rise, and they knew what it meant. A cold mechanical voice echoed down from the hovering Watcher ship. Humanity, you are a relic. You stand no chance against us. Your power is nothing compared to what we can do. The Sol's wrath did not respond with words. Instead, it activated its weapons. Energy surged from its hull, bright and focused, like the glow of 1,000 suns. Suddenly, a burst of light shot from the Sol's wrath, slicing through the sky with terrifying precision. It was not a simple weapon. It was a pulse, so powerful that it bent the very fabric of space itself. The Watcher's ship reacted immediately. Shields flared to life, and the vessel dodged the incoming strike, but not in time. A massive explosion echoed across the sky. Varnak's heart skipped a beat as the Watcher's ship shuddered. The power of the Sol's wrath had left a deep scar across the black vessel. The Watchers were stunned, unprepared for such a display of strength. But the battle was far from over. Inside the Sol's wrath, the command center hummed with life. Human technology, ancient and advanced, was now fully operational. The ship's weapon systems were ready, and the crew of the Sol's wrath, long thought lost, were now at the helm once more. The Watchers were not finished yet, but neither was Earth. The Watchers' fleet began to move in formation, surrounding the Sol's wrath. Their ships, smaller but faster, launched toward Earth, charging with weapons ready. Varnak watched the scene unfold from the surface, helpless for now. We need to help the ship, Tara said, her voice sharp. If we don't, Earth might lose everything. Varnak's mind raced. He had seen what the Sol's wrath could do, but the Watchers had technology of their own, advanced beyond anything Earth had ever faced. Then he saw it. A pulse of light, similar to what the Sol's wrath had unleashed earlier, flared into existence, a massive blast that sent shockwaves through space, hitting one of the smaller Watcher ships. The ship exploded, scattering debris across the sky. The fight was on. The Watchers would fight to the end. But Earth had awakened something far greater than they could have imagined. The sky above Earth was a battlefield. The Sol's wrath floated like a shadow in the sky, its massive guns glowing with deadly power. Below, the Watchers' ships moved in tight formation, preparing for their attack. The black ships were fast, their weapons designed to destroy quickly, but they were no match for the ancient power of humanity's supercarrier. Varnak stood at the control station, watching the battle unfold on the holo display. The air around him was thick with tension. We need to act fast, Tara said, her voice urgent. The Watchers are regrouping. They won't give up so easily. Varnak nodded. We can't let them breach Earth's defenses. If they do, everything will be lost. The vault had warned them. This was the last stand. Earth's power was out in the open now, and the galaxy would never be the same. But first, they had to survive this battle. Above, the Sol's wrath fired again. A blast of energy cut through the air, but the Watchers were prepared. Their ships dodged and weaved, their shields flaring to life just in time. The Watchers' counterattacks were quick, laser beams and plasma shots flashing across the sky, but none of them reached the supercarrier. The Sol's Wrath was built for this. Inside the supercarrier, the crew worked quickly, guiding the massive ship through the chaos. Its weapons fired in perfect coordination, striking at the Watchers' fleet with precision. But the battle was just beginning. Varnak watched as one of the smaller Watcher ships charged directly at the Sol's Wrath. It was a suicidal attack, a desperate move to stop the ancient ship before it could destroy them. But just as the ship closed in, a beam of light shot from the supercarrier's weapons, tearing the Watcher ship in half. Tira breathed a sigh of relief. We got one of them. But Varnak wasn't so sure. The Watchers were relentless. Far above, the larger Watcher ships began to power up. They were preparing something that could change the tide of the battle. We need to stop those ships, Varnak said, his eyes scanning the display. If they fire that weapon, Earth won't stand a chance. Tira's eyes widened. What do we do? Varnak's mind raced. There was no time for second thoughts. We use Earth's last defense. We'll send a signal to the Sol's Wrath. In the control room, Varnak quickly activated the communication system, sending a signal deep into Earth's core. The Vault's voice echoed in the room. Signal received. Last defense protocol activated. The ground beneath them shook again. A new system had been activated. The final line of defense Earth had kept hidden for centuries. Far above, the Watchers continued their assault, unaware of what was coming. The larger ships charged up their weapons, preparing to fire a beam that could cut through even the toughest shields. Then, suddenly, a new signal appeared on the Watchers' scanners. The energy coming from Earth was unlike anything they had seen before. Before they could react, a massive energy wave shot out from Earth's core, slamming into the Watcher fleet with overwhelming force. The shockwave was so powerful that it sent ships flying off course. Their shields failed, and several ships were destroyed in the blast. The Watchers screamed in panic, but it was too late. The tide had turned. Tira grinned. That's it. We've got them on the run. But Varnak knew better. The Watchers would fight to the end, no matter what. As the battle raged above, the Sol's Wrath unleashed its full fury. Its main cannon fired, sending a burst of energy so powerful that it tore through two of the largest Watcher ships in an instant. The remaining ships scattered, trying to regroup, but they were no match for Earth's power. Varnak's heart raced as he watched the battle unfold. The Watchers were retreating, but their defeat wasn't certain yet. In the sky, the Watchers' last-ditch attempt to regroup failed. They had underestimated Earth's strength. The Sol's Wrath was too much for them. But as the last Watcher ship exploded, Varnak couldn't shake the feeling that this was only the beginning. The Watchers were not the only ones watching Earth now. The galaxy would never forget the power Earth had revealed. Back in the control room, Tira was still watching the screen. We did it, Varnak. We stopped them. Varnak nodded slowly. For now. But we've shown the galaxy what Earth can do, and we've made a dangerous enemy. Tira turned to him. Do you think the Council will take notice? Varnak didn't answer right away. The silence stretched between them as they both realized the truth. The galaxy would never look at Earth the same way again. The Sol's Wrath had done its job. The Watchers had been defeated. But Earth had revealed something that the galaxy had never seen before, something far greater than anyone had imagined. And now, the galaxy would have to deal with the consequences. The victory was hard won, but the real battle had just begun. Earth had defeated the Watchers, but the Sol's Wrath was a message to the galaxy. Humanity was no longer a forgotten species. The Council could no longer ignore Earth's power. The truth had been revealed, and there was no turning back. In the Council's grand chamber, the silence was deafening. Representatives from dozens of species sat in their seats, watching the hologram of Earth's supercarrier hovering in the sky. The images of the Watchers' retreating ships flashed in front of them. Some were afraid, others furious, but none dared speak for several moments. Finally, it was the leader of the Zogteri, a species known for their cold logic, who broke the silence. "This is unacceptable," he growled. "Earth's power should have stayed hidden. The Sol's wrath, that ship should have never been allowed to rise again." Another representative, a member of the Vikul species, stood up. "It's not just the ship," he said. "Earth's vault, that was the key. That is what gave them the power to destroy the Watchers. The Sol's wrath was their ultimate weapon. But we all know the vault contains much more." The tension in the room was palpable. The other members of the council exchanged glances, unsure of how to respond. They had always dismissed Earth as insignificant, as a primitive species too focused on survival to ever pose a real threat. But now, with the truth of Earth's ancient power revealed, everything had changed. On Earth, Varnak and his team stood at the edge of the destroyed Watchers' fleet. The Sol's wrath hovered silently above the wreckage, its weapons powered down, but its energy still pulsing like the heart of a sleeping giant. "Do you think the Council is watching us?" Tira asked quietly, her voice tinged with both fear and awe. Varnak's gaze was fixed on the Sol's wrath, his thoughts racing. "I'm sure they are. They can't ignore us any longer." The Sol's wrath had done its job, but Varnak knew the Council wouldn't stop at just watching. The galaxy's power brokers would act, either by attempting to control Earth or by trying to destroy it. Back in the Council chamber, the debate raged on. The leader of the Zogteri rose again, his eyes burning with fury. "We cannot allow humanity to continue like this. Earth must be brought to heel, or else they will be a threat to us all." The other representatives murmured in agreement. The power that Earth now wielded was terrifying. But it was not just the Sol's wrath that worried them. It was the knowledge that Earth had hidden far more than just a single weapon. The vault was still a mystery, and it held things that could change the balance of power in the galaxy forever. A hush fell over the room as the High Representative of the Catrail stepped forward. His species was ancient, wise, and slow to act. He had watched the unfolding events from his seat, observing quietly. Now he spoke. "We must be careful," the Trail leader warned. "Humanity is not just a relic. They have the potential to reshape the galaxy. We have been ignoring them for too long. If we act rashly, we may provoke something far worse than we can imagine." The Zogteri leader scoffed. "What worse could there be than a species that keeps weapons like these hidden? They will bring ruin to us all if we don't act now." The room buzzed with disagreement. The debate became more heated, each faction vying for control. But in the end, there was only one thing the Council agreed on. Earth had to be dealt with. On Earth, the tension was palpable. The Watchers had retreated, but Varnak knew their defeat was just one battle in a much larger war. The galaxy would not let humanity go unchallenged for long. The Council would come for Earth. It was only a matter of when. "Varnak," Tira said softly, breaking his thoughts. "What now? What do we do?" Varnak's gaze turned toward the Sol's wrath. "We wait, and we prepare. The galaxy won't leave us alone. But Earth has something they don't. We have the will to survive." The Council's decision was made swiftly. The Zogteri had insisted on immediate action, but the Catrail's caution had swayed enough votes for a more measured approach. Instead of immediate attack, the Council would send an emissary, a representative who would attempt to negotiate with Earth and find out just how much power humanity truly had. But the message was clear. Earth was no longer an innocent species. It had awakened something that the galaxy could not ignore, and the Council would not let that power go unchecked. As the emissary ship left the Council's headquarters and headed toward Earth, the fate of humanity hung in the balance. Varnak knew what was coming. The emissary would bring both words and threats. The galaxy would test humanity's strength, and if Earth was found wanting, the consequences would be devastating. But Varnak also knew something else. Humanity would not go down without a fight. The battle for Earth had just begun, and this time it would not be fought with ships and weapons alone. Humanity's place in the galaxy had been earned, not given. Earth had awakened, and now the galaxy would have to reckon with the truth.